So everybody shows you Dallas during the day, the polished skylines, the sunny brunch spots, the family-friendly neighborhood. Nobody's showing you what the city really becomes when the sun goes down. Listen, this is when the energy shifts, the light hit different, and a whole new version of Dallas really comes alive. One that most people never even see, right? Listen, whether you're new to the city, thinking about relocating, or just tired of the same recycled content, guys, today's video is going to take you into the nocturnal side of the Metroplex. From the rooftop lounges and the hidden speakeasies to late night food trucks and live music gyms, we're diving into the spots, the scenes, and the stories that prove Dallas has another side to it.
Let's go. Yeah. Niggas get punched in the face with some TLC shit on the dead guys. Some TLC shit, cause my nigga, you gon' need a chili ice pack for your left eye. I'm back in your city tonight, walking around my head high. I saw bro end up pop out with them. All
right, so let's kick things off with what might be the most important category of all, and that's gonna be date night, right? Because let's be real, anyone can Google the best restaurants and end up at a place that okay lighting and overpriced pasta, right? But if you're looking to set a tone and create a night that actually lingers in somebody's memory, you're gonna need to have the right type of vibe. We're talking about ambience, aesthetics, connection, whether it's that first date with potential or a much needed reset with your person. These are gonna be the places where Dallas does romance after dark. I mean, look guys, there's just something about being elevated above the city that just makes everything feel a little more cinematic, right? The sound of the traffic fades away into the distant hum, the skyline glows in the distance, and the breeze just rolls in just in time for when the cocktails start to hit, right? But the rooftop bars around here aren't just about the views, they're about perspective. These are gonna be for those couples who really wanna feel connected but not confined, right? Open air, open hearts, and open vibes. So let's move over to HG Supply Company. This spot is unpretentious but effortlessly cool, right? I want you to picture reclaimed wood tables, string lights dancing overhead, and a menu filled with clean eats that somehow still feel indulgent. You're gonna hear the light laughs, the clink of the cocktail glasses, and maybe a playlist of indie soul in the background. It's gonna be ideal for those couples who wanna unwind, reconnect, and still be home by 11 o'clock, but not before sharing a skillet cookie and talking about future plans. Now, if you head over to the Statler, this rooftop feels like something out of Miami, right? All sleek poolside energy and soft blue lighting that makes everyone look better. You're surrounded by plush lounge seating, high-end cocktails with smoky garnishes, and a DJ that really sets the tone without overpowering the conversation. It's gonna be for the couples who got dressed with intention, right? Think bodycon, cologne, and that extra level of confidence. Listen, you're gonna be here to flirt, to toast, and maybe stay out a little longer than planned. Now, when we head over to Catbird at the Thompson Hotel, this one is for the curated crowd, right? Think dark, polished interiors, floor-to-ceiling windows, and a cocktail list that reads like a love letter to mixology, right? Listen, there's gonna be an elegant hush here, not silence, but a refined kind of buzz that makes the moment feel really intimate. Look, this is where you go when you want to feel like you're somewhere else, maybe Paris, Tokyo, a movie set, but with that unmistakable Dallas edge. Now look guys, if you're still with me, I've got to ask, which one of the spots are you bookmarking for your next night out, right? And not to just be dating Dallas, but thinking about putting a ring on it, right? Relocating, buying, or upgrading your lifestyle. Listen, I'm Mark with the Dallas Relocation Guide, and every single day we help people buy, sell, and relocate right here to the Dallas Metroplex. Listen, we love all things Dallas and giving you the type of energy and the type of information that makes your move much easier. So if you're thinking about making that move, guys, feel free to reach out. All of our contact info is down in the description below and pinned to the top of the chat. All right, now what about my couples that crave a little mystery and want their night to feel a little secret worth keeping, right? The speakeasy scene over here in Dallas is really unmatched. You don't just walk into these places, right? You discover them, guys. The entrances are usually going to be hidden, the lighting is definitely low, and every detail from the bartender's vest to the textured wallpaper is intentional. These are going to be those places built for the stolen glances, the quiet laughter, and those lingering touches on the velvet armrest. So let's start with Midnight Rambler up in the Joel Hotel, right? Now the Joel is low-key one of my favorite hotels in the entire Metroplex. Listen, my wife books us staycations here and the suites are unmatched, right? It's giving that Upper East Side Manhattan type of energy. But for this particular speakeasy, guys, you're gonna descend down the staircase and you're transported into a vintage jazz noir dream, right? Leather booths, brass finishes, low-level jazz pouring from the vintage speakers, and a menu full of cocktails with dames you'll pretend you understand. There's this almost electric type of intimacy in the air, like everyone here is on something exclusive, guys. It's gonna be for those couples who love storytelling, slow sipping, and looking into each other's eyes across the candlelit table. Now, as we switch over to the Bishop Art District, and that's where you'll find Atlas, right? This is part cocktail lounge, part travelogue, guys. Each drink is definitely inspired by a different global city, and the decor really leans into the theme without feeling too corny. Look, I want you to imagine sipping an old-fashioned that tastes like Kyoto while sitting beneath a map of Morocco. The lights are warm, the glassware is ornate, and the vibes is intellectually flirty. Listen, you'll leave here really feeling like you traveled somewhere, even though it's only a 15-minute Uber ride back to the crib. Now, this next one is going to be hidden beneath the museum downtown. Akai is this red-hued oasis oasis of Japanese minimalism and luxury, guys. The space just feels like it's sacred, right? The wood, the stones, and all the shadows are just working together to create an atmosphere of quiet indulgence. You're gonna sip on rare Japanese whiskey while listening to ambient music or just some traditional strings, right? The sushi is melt in your mouth type of good. The servers speak softly, and it's the kind of place that says, look, we don't really rush things here. Now, as we leave the speakeasy, guys, let's talk about the slower, more soulful type of rhythm, right? For those of you who crave connection with the soundtrack or jazz and wine spots that offer timeless kind of intimacy, these are gonna be for those couples who dress in layers, move intentionally, and wanna feel something together, musically, emotionally, and maybe even spiritually.
I'm just trying to get to know you, babe. Put your legs on my shoulder, babe. Come in closer, got more to say. You the main bank, I made more today. Show me a personal motorcade. You hit me up good, but I owe you.
So first up, let's talk about the Balcony Club over in Lake. Listen, we went there for our anniversary, and you walk in and it's like stepping into a sepia-toned memory, guys. You get the scent of old wood and Merlot up in the air, red velvet seats, a baby grand piano over in the corner is playing something sultry and slow, and the musicians here aren't really trying to be discovered, right? They're trying to make you feel something. This is for the couple that really doesn't need all the flash, just good wine, live music, and that eye contact that says, hey, we get each other. Now, if you want something a little more, say, New Orleans type of vibes, then Rebel Hall will have you covered, guys. This is where the spirit of New Orleans really peaks inside of Dallas. We're talking about live brass bands, candlelit tabletops, and a crowd that's alive but not overwhelming. Listen, the smell of Cajun spices and bourbon is floating in the air in this one. And even if you start the evening sitting still, don't be surprised if you're up dancing by the end of the night, right? It's for those couples who know how to loosen up and lean in to have a good time. And then when it comes to your full sensory indulgence, nothing hits like a truly romantic dinner, guys. These are going to be the restaurants where every detail from the lighting to the plating is orchestrated for connection, right? It's going to be perfect for anniversaries, birthday surprises, or when you just want to say, I still choose you, babe. So let's start with the Charles over in the Design District. This is opulence meets intimacy, right? I want you to think dramatic chandeliers, jewel-toned roads, and the Italian menu that smells like Nona's house but eats like a modern art. Every dish is a conversation starter. This is where you go to feel spoiled by the food, by the service, and by each other. Next up, let's talk about Tedesso over in the Hardwood District. This is gonna be a sensory playground. The lighting is golden, the music has rhythm, and the drinks taste like tropical vacations. You can split a ceviche, share a spicy mezcal, and let the rooftop breeze reset your energy. And you guys know we all need some of that. Look, the whole space just oozes sensuality. It's bold, it's colorful, unapologetically, right? It's perfect for couples who love flavor, both on the plate and in the vibes. And then let's talk about St. Martin's Wine Bistro over in Lower Greenville. This is the definition of old world charm, right? Soft pianos playing in the background, lace curtains, wine glasses clinking, echoing through the room. It smells like butter, rosemary, and warm bread, but it feels like falling in love slowly. Look, this place isn't really trendy. It's timeless, right? It's gonna be for those couples who wanna, hold hands across the table and stay a little bit too long, and for those who really wanna escape responsibility and take it back before your kids ran your schedule. But if you're like B, you wanna think outside of the box, right? If you want something truly cinematic, something that makes your partner look over mid-performance and whisper, you to go for this one, baby. This is gonna be that, right? The candlelight concerts happening in stunning venues around our city where hundreds of glowing candles surround a live string quartet, guys. One night it's gonna be Adele, the next night it may be Coldplay or Beyonce or Mozart. Listen, I surprised my wife with one of these not too long ago, and it was inside of a private airplane hangar, right? Dark and moody, the scent of wax and old wood really fills the air, the music reverberates through your chest, and suddenly you're both 100% present. The one we went to was covering Lauryn Hill's song, and it was a vibe. Listen, this was a mix of pure art, intimacy, and the kind of quiet that makes everything else fade away, guys. So now that you've turned your relationship spark into a full-fledged fire, what about the places that's really family-friendly, right? The spots that you, your siblings from out of town, and the kiddos can all indulge in. All right, so let's kick things off with the classic, and that's gonna be Clyde Warren Park at night, guys. This is one of the easiest, most low-maintenance wins on the list, right? It stays open until about 11 o'clock, and the park lights up with the downtown skyline glowing off of the background, right? You got the playground for the kids, ping pong tables, and a splash pad in the summertime. And then there's also food trucks that stay hopping into the evening, right? They'll even host free movie nights and concerts during the warmer months sometimes. It's super walkable and usually filled with other families, so it always feels safe and lively. But look, here's gonna be that pro tip for you guys. Park in the garage right underneath. It's quick, it's easy, and usually less than 10 bucks. All right, next up we have zoo lights at the Dallas Zoo, guys. Most people only think of the zoo during the daytime, but during the holidays, this place turns into to a literal Christmas wonderland. We're talking about millions of lights, hot cocoa stations, themed snack parks, train rides, the works. It's way less chaotic than daytime hours and just as fun for adults as it is for the kiddos. They also do special events like wild nights or after-hour educational programs during some of the other seasons, so keep an eye out for those guys. Now look, if your kids are bouncing off the wall like mine and need a place to burn some of that energy off, I want you to check out Bow Lounge or Round 1 Bowling and Arcade. These spots really, they stay open late, but I'd recommend hitting them before 9 p.m. on the weekends to avoid that late night crowd rolling in. And look, if you're in the mood for something a little more relaxed but still fun, you can check out the Rooftop Cinema Club, guys. Yep, this is gonna be a movie night under the stars and totally kid-friendly. They run family night screenings with movies like Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, and throwback classics like The Sandlot. You get your own comfy little lounge chair, wireless headphones, and the skyline views while the kids enjoy popcorn and snacks. It's located at the Heritage Village in downtown, and here's gonna be that pro tip for this one, guys. Bring a blanket sometimes, especially when we're talking about those cooler months. The rooftop breeze can get a little bit chilly. Now, if it's the summertime, probably not so much, but at least you have a blanket to sit on and save your spot. And finally, if you're looking for something a little more immersive, then you can check out the Dallas World Aquarium for an extended or after-hour events, right? Look, you can be walking through the rainforest and aquatic exhibits at night, and it just gives you a little bit of a different experience, a magical, almost enchanted type of feel. This is gonna be perfect for the smaller kids, and it's really stroller friendly as well. Now, it's not always open late, but when it is, it's definitely a vibe, right? And then afterward, you can grab a quick bite or dessert nearby in the West End area, and that's really walkable all as well. So look, there's no real reason you need to stay cooped up or default to screen time. Dallas has so much going on after dark for families, right? Look, let me know which one of these you guys would hit up first, and if I missed one of your favorite spots, guys, drop it down in the comments and I might feature it on the next video. All right, but what if your frat is coming into town or your sorors, they're flying in to shake things up? Where are the places that give that group energy? This is where those memories are going to start to flow, the old stories are going to come up and take you back to the good old days when we all were younger. So let's talk about the group vibes a little bit down here in the DFW. All right, now if you're looking for a spot to go with the crew that doesn't feel like a college bar or Chuck E. Cheese, so whether it's a birthday dinner, a double date, or just a night out where someone in the group says, we should definitely do something, this one's going to be for the friend groups to blended families and everybody trying to have a good time with a lot of personalities in the passenger seats. All right, first up, we're going to talk about Legacy Hall up in Plano, guys. This one is built for groups. You've got the 3-story food hall with over 20 different food stalls, so nobody's arguing about what to eat here, guys. There's a stage with live music on most weekends, a giant outdoor patio, you get the beer garden energy, and even an upstairs bar that feels a little more upscale. If you're with the mixed age group or a crew that likes to eat, chill, and vibe, this is a go-to place. Plus, it's super family friendly early in the night, and then it turns up a bit after 9 p.m. Now, if you're looking for games, drinks, and a little organized chaos, I want you to check out Punch Bowl Social or Pin Stack, right? Punch Bowl is down in Deep Ellum, and it's basically a grown-up playground. You get bowling alley, arcade games, karaoke, plus a solid food and cocktail menu. It's got that cool industrial vibe with plenty of space to spread out, so it never feels too packed, right? And then we're talking about Pin Stack on the other hand, and that leans more towards a clean-cut family fun type of lane, right? We're talking bowling, laser tag, rope courses, you name it, they got it. It's definitely a hit for birthday groups, blended families, or adults who want to feel like kids again with a bar nearby. Now, for something a little more laid back and quirky, you can head over to the Truck Yard or the Art Park at Trinity Groves, right? Both are outdoor, casual, and dog friendly. These are going to be perfect for those spontaneous, let's just grab a drink and chill type of nights. Listen, Truck Yard is going to give you the food truck vibe, string lights, live music, and an old school truck bed seating area that somehow works perfectly for big groups. And then the Art Park has the colorful Instagram-worthy energy with lots of outdoor games, neon art installations, and the community seating. You don't really need reservations at these places, and the whole thing just feels like a backyard block party with a good beer. Now, if you're trying to keep it a little more competitive, like me, say you've got a group of couples or friends who like to talk trash, Top Golf is always undefeated, right? You get the climate-controlled bays, food, and drinks brought right to your spot, and just enough activity to keep everybody engaged without needing to be a pro. It's great for a Friday or Saturday night when you don't want a full bar scene, but you still want the energy and the interaction. And let me just give you one more wild card, guys. It's an escape room followed by a dessert bar. It's really surprisingly fun, right? It forces people to interact, and it gives you an excuse to hit a late night spot afterwards. Some of the best escape rooms in Dallas are right off the Central Expressway or around the Bishop Arch District, and you can finish the night at sweet spots like Churro Buzz or Botolini Gelato, right? That combo right there, guys, it's solid for friends, solid for work groups, and even an icebreaker energy with new people. But at the end of the day, guys, Dallas has so many places where you don't have to scream over music or fight for a table just to enjoy a night out with your people. But for those people who are looking for a little bit more excitement, what about the true nightclubs, the bars, the lounge scenes, for all my people who want to turn all the way up? All right, so let me break it to you straight, right? Not all Dallas nightlife is created equal. If you've ever ended up at the wrong bar with the wrong crowd thinking, yeah, this ain't it, guys, this one's for you. So whether you're into hip-hop nights, low low-key lounges, country dancing, or you just want to avoid being the oldest person in the room, I'm about to save you some trial and error. Now look, Dallas has some dope bar districts, but each one comes with its own type of energy. It's got its own crowd and honestly, its own dress code too. So here's how you find your vibe without playing bar roulette all weekend long. All right, so first up, let's talk about the obvious one in Deep Ellum, guys. Look, if you want hip-hop, R&B, late-night energy, and real diversity, this is gonna be it, guys. It's loud, it's gritty, it's got murals, tacos, music pouring out of every single window. You've got spots like Truth and Alibi, a speakeasy bar designed as a candy shop. You're gonna get the Nines for DJ sets and dance floors. Bottle Blonde is a staple that serves energy and tequila shots. Sporting Club typically is packed to capacity. Saya has that Mediterranean Bali world type of vibes mixed with hookah, good food, and an outdoor patio. And Citizen is a place you go when your pretentious side takes over. It's gonna have great music with a lot of the big movers and shakers ordering bottle service all night. Listen, Deep Ellum definitely leans young, creative, and wild in the best way possible. Just know this district turns up fast after 10 p.m. Parking can get really wild, so Uber is definitely your best friend in this area. All right, so now let's shift gears and talk about the Knox Henderson and Bishop Arch areas, aka where all the grown folks go. So if you're over 30 and you want the music that you recognize, a bartender who remembers your name, and a bathroom that isn't terrifying, this is gonna be your lane. So you got Bar Charles, The Porch, Lounge 31, and little wine bars tucked into side streets, right? Look, Bishop Arch in particular has this artsy, intimate type of energy, right? It's great for date nights or catching up with friends without yelling over music. Look, these areas aren't wild, but the vibe is definitely elite. And if you're feeling a little bit more southern, you can head over to Lower Greenville or Addison, especially if you're into country bars, big patios, or live music with a dance floor, right? Look, Cowboys Red River is a classic country line dancing spot complete with the mechanical bull and the boots. So the rustic blends Texas vibe with live music and casual ease. This is gonna be perfect for big groups, happy hour, or low-key hangs that turn up depending on the night. It's definitely southern comfort with a little nightlife edge to it. All right, next up we have Uptown Dallas. This is for your young professional, just got off of work but still want a party type of crowd. I want you to think 25 to 35, business casual turn club casual by 9 p.m. So over here you have Concrete, Cowboy, The Common Table, and Klutz. Those are the go-tos. I gotta be honest with you, I'm not sure if a couple of these are still open due to the pandemic, but these are where the spots used to be at for sure. There's gonna be bottle service if you want it, but also chill patios and solid food, right? This area is polished, walkable, and it feels like a safe bet for birthdays, group hangs, or a bar crawl where you don't want to sweat out your outfit. And of course, if you're looking for more of that Latin type of vibe, you can look downtown or up in North Dallas, right? Fedora is always pop. We talking rooftop views, reggaeton, and tequila flights, right? Gloria's After Dark gives you dinner and then salsa and sometimes all in the same room. Listen, me and my wife go here sometimes to loosen up these hips, and the margaritas in this one are a staple. Just tell them Mark with a Q sent you down to get the walk me down, and they will know exactly what you need. Listen, the music's high energy, the crowds are gonna be mixed, and the vibes are immaculate. So if you wanna dance without ending up in a Las Vegas style club, this is definitely the move.
So I'm super excited to announce we just released our Reload Ready bundle. This is a bundle that gives you our knowledge of the Metroplex, the best areas, best food spots, best schools, and overall what to expect. And lastly, we're gonna give you access to our preferred property list. This is when builders have inventory that they need to move. They call and give us first dibs. These are gonna be those discounted properties you won't find on Realtor or Zillow.com. So if you want exclusive access, click the link below, become a part of our inner circle where we say less and pay less. Now, back to the video you were watching.
All right, so let's be real though. Not everyone wants to drink, party, and yell over a DJ on their night out. And honestly, that's fair, right? Sometimes you want something just a little bit different, a little more chill, a little more creative, and a little less bottle service energy. You want more of this feels like a memory type of vibe. So if you're looking for something to do at night in Dallas that's fun but not your typical bar scene, then I've got you covered here too. So let's start with Meow Wolf. This is the real unreal. This place is a trip in the best way possible. It's gonna be an immersive walk-through art experience that turns into an interactive story, right? We're talking about glowing rooms, secret tunnels, surreal visuals, and the music all baked into one. It's gonna be perfect if you want to do something different with friends or a date, especially if you're into creativity, design, or just want some cool content for your IG. And a bonus tip for this one is it stays open later on the weekends and it feels like a grown-up playground for artsy people. But what about if you're in the mood to laugh, guys? And you can definitely check out one of the comedy club scenes in Dallas. We have Hyena's Comedy Club over in Mockingbird Station, and that's really a staple in the city. They've had everyone from up-and-coming locals to national acts, guys. And then we also have the Dallas Comedy Club in Deep Ellum that has improv, stand-up, and even some open mic nights if you're feeling brave enough. And of course, guys, we cannot forget the world-famous improv comedy clubs that are scattered throughout the Metroplex. This is giving you access to comedians you've seen on the big screen and in your favorite movies. Listen, these places give you a full night of entertainment without breaking the bank, and if you plan it right, guys, you can grab dinner nearby and turn it into a full experience. Now, if you want something a little more hands-on and low pressure, I want you to try a paint and sip at night, guys. Yeah, we're talking about wine, canvases, and questionable brush skills. Look, painting with a twist, sip and doodle, and even themed nights at bars, that's the perfect for group hangs, girls' nights, or even the team building activities. Listen, you don't need to be good at art, right? That's not the prerequisite. You just need to show up and have fun. And trust me, the worse your painting, beginning is, the better the story will be later. And hey, if you're more into the party scene but want something with a little bit of a twist to it, you can hit up a themed party night, right? Dallas has everything from silent discos, 90s R&B nights to masquerade parties and lofts. These are the nights where you show up and everyone's in the vibe, the energy, and it's intentional, guys. You can find a lot of these events on Eventbrite or hosted at places like Ruins, the Statler, or even random warehouse pop-ups. And here's gonna be a bonus one, guys. Coming soon is gonna be Netflix House. Yep, Netflix is opening one of its first ever Netflix House locations right here in the Metroplex. I want you to think immersive, interactive experiences based on hit shows like Bridgerton, Squid Game, and Stranger Things all under one roof. There's gonna be themed restaurants, themed games, merch, live experiences, and it's going to be open late. So if you want something new and buzzy to add to your night out list, this one is definitely one you want to watch for. But what if you ever caught yourself saying, you know, I want to do something but I don't want to drink, right? This is going to be your lane coming up next. This is going to be that alternative entertainment in Dallas, and it's not just alive, it's creative, immersive, and low-key fire. All right, now I do have a few clients who are more into the music scene than others, right? And look, sometimes you want to hear music that wasn't made by a DJ with a fog machine. But I'm talking about real instruments, live vocals, energy you can feel in your chest. The Dallas has a crazy underrated live music scene, and if you're not tapped into it, guys, you're really missing out. Look, whether you want to post up on the patio with a cold drink or catch an intimate concert in one of the venues that feels like a secret, there's something here for every single vibe. Look, one of my favorite places to catch live shows is going to be the Granada Theater over in Lower Greenville. This is a venue that's been around forever, and it's got that cool vintage movie theater meets rock show aesthetic, right? They're going to bring in indie bands, R&B acts, throwback tours, all in a space where you're never too far from the stage. It's loud, it's local, and it's really real. Now, if you're into a slightly edgier vibes, guys, I want you to check out NTREIS over in Deep Ellum. This one is legendary, right? It's gritty, it's raw, and in the best way possible. This is where you see the next big artist before they blow up. And then you can always catch a concert at the American Airlines Center. That's where all the big names will be, right? We also have the Toyota Music Factory, and that's where you'll see people like Teddy Swims, Trey Songz, and K. Michelle. I think they're all coming here soon. And then AT&T Stadium is bringing in the weekend here in August. And I mean, I could go on and on for days. Now, if you're looking for that more laid-back patio type of energy, then Truck Yard, like I said before, always has someone playing live on their outdoor stage. You'll catch the blues, country, acoustic sets. It's the type of spot where you can listen in one ear and still vibe out with your friends. And as we move back over up in Plano, Legacy Hall keeps a steady rotation of local and regional artists on their outdoor stages. They're going to be complete with the LED screens, the fire pits, and the crowd that actually listens to the music. Now, if you want something a little more intimate and elevated, then try Reveliers Hall in Bishop Arch or Lounge 31 near Highland Park. Look, Reveliers brings that live jazz, brass band, Nolia type of energy tucked away in the corner of Dallas that feels like a movie, right? You walk by, you hear a saxophone, and it pulls you in, guys. Now, Lounge 31, that leans a little bit more upscale. You're gonna get the live jazz, crafted cocktails, and grown folks on a date night. No shouting, no chaos, just smooth sounds and soft lighting. And then you can't sleep on the free outdoor concert scenes, right? Levitt Pavilion over in Arlington, Clyde Warren Park downtown, and Vitruvian Park up in Addison, they all do live music nights during the spring and summer months, right? It's family friendly, date night approved, and budget proof as well. Look, bottom line is you don't have to hit a massive arena or wait for the festival to enjoy live music in Dallas, guys. It's happening all around you. You just have to know where to look. All right, but what about my ambitious types, right? The ones who make networking a part of their daily lives, curating connections that catapult their careers. Yeah, say that 5 times fast. Let's talk grown-up nightlife for a second, guys. Not every night out needs to end with a hangover or a bar tab that you regret. Sometimes you just want to mix, connect, and meet new people, and maybe spark something for your business, your brand, and your next career move. And yes, that definitely exists here in Dallas as well. Look, this city has a strong, low-key professional scene at night, guys. You just need to know where it all lives. Listen, Dallas has a whole ecosystem of curated networking events for ambitious, social, culturally minded professionals, right? You'll find rooftop happy hours, charity galas, and industry-specific meetups all over the city. These aren't your boring, awkward name tag meetups either. These are cocktails, real conversations, live DJs, and connections that actually matter, right? You can search platforms like Eventbrite, Meetup, or even follow some of the IG people who host stuff on the regular. That's where the good stuff really gets posted first. And if you're in real estate like I am, either finance or entrepreneurship, there's plenty of investor meetups, wealth building workshops, or creative collab nights happening across town, guys. Look, one of my favorites is going to be MixerCloud. It's a great tech reoccurring networking event that has blown up over the last year, guys. I feel like it's expanded to a few different cities throughout the country now, so it's definitely big time if you're in the tech field. Listen, these events are often in cool venues like co-working spaces, rooftops, and boutique hotels, kind of like the Virgin Hotel over in the Design District. It has this crazy view, plus the rooftop pool really helps to loosen everybody up and invite people to carry a conversation. Some of them are going to be free, some of them have a small cover, but they all offer a space to meet people who are actually about something. Look, the rooftop happy hours are really big here too, guys. We're talking about spots like Sky Blossom, Waterproof, and the Catbird. They host evening socials where people actually dress up and show show out. But these events often mix industries. We're talking about tech, creatives, real estate, fashion, and you'll leave with more than just an IG story. You'll leave with collab contacts. Another fun lane to talk about, guys, would be wine tasting and art nights, right? I want you to think of gallery pop-ups, sip and learn workshops, or even charity events where you're mingling while doing some good. Dallas has a high volume of these low-key luxe experiences, especially in neighborhoods like the Design District, Bishop Arts, or up in the Addison Circle. Listen, the grown-up social scene is out here, guys. You just need to step up to the club and into the rooms where the moves are getting made. All right, but what if you're the type that hates circling for parking, dodging Uber surges, or doing the who's driving dance with your group, right? Dallas isn't always known as the most walkable city, but there's definitely pockets where you can park once and vibe all night. Whether you're out on a date, bar hopping with friends, or just want to explore without checking your GPS every 10 minutes, here are the top walkable nightlife zones that you need to know. All right, so we're going to start with the classic Deep Ellum. This is going to be that heartbeat of the Dallas nightlife, and for a good reason. Listen, you've got the live music venues, the art galleries, dive bars, rooftop lounges, tattoo shops, street tacos. I mean, it's just endless. And all this is going to be within walking distance of each other, right? Listen, like I said before, the energy is young, creative, and wild in the best way possible, guys. You can hit rooms for a Latin dance party, slide over the Truth and Alibi for speakeasy vibes, grab pizza at Sirius Pizza, and still be under a 5-minute walk the entire night. It's going to be colorful, it's loud, and it's a little chaotic, but that's where the magic is laying. The next best walkable is going to be the Bishop Art District, right? This is going to be the area for the romantics, the creatives, and anyone who wants the charm over chaos. I want you to picture brick roads, boutique wine bars, dessert spots, candlelit patios, and the cozy lounges all within a few walkable blocks. Look, whether you're hitting Tejas for tapas, Reveliers Hall for the jazz, or Espimosa for the coffee and conversation, Bishop Arts is a whole vibe at night. Look, it's going to be slower, it's softer, and it feels like you're in a movie. And then there's Uptown and Knox Henderson. This is going to be the polished, energetic, and full of back-to-back bars and restaurants. Listen, McKinney Avenue is super walkable and is connected by the trolley system, and that makes it easy to hop over the Concrete Cowboy to the Common Table or the Katy Trail Ice House without even moving your car. And then Knox Henderson, that's Uptown's slightly older, chiller cousin, right? I want you to think elevated cocktails, rooftop lounges, and grown folks who still know how to have a good time. Listen, these areas are going to be the great ones if you want options without chaos. And if you want to try something a little bit newer, check out the AT&T Discovery District downtown. This is going to have those giant digital screens, lit up fountains, rotating food trucks, and a massive open plaza that make it perfect for casual walking and people watching. I mean, whether you're grabbing dinner at Jackson, drinks at Happiest Hour, or just catching the game on the outdoor screen, it's a surprisingly good night stroll destination, especially for families and people coming from out of town. All right, but what if you don't want to spend a bag to have a good night in Dallas? Look, whether your budget is tight, you've got kids, or you just want something low-key, there's a long list of free things to do after dark that still feel like an experience. I mean, for the families and kiddos, you can hit up Clyde Warren Park after sunset. Look, they've got the free movie nights, the food trucks, the LED lit fountains, and the light up skyline view that never gets old. And then during the holidays of the summer, they have the live performances, the light up shows, or all the pop-up activities, guys, especially around the Christmas months. If you're looking for date night, how about a skyline picnic, right? Grab takeout and post up at the White Rock Lake or the new Trinity Overlook Park that's coming really soon, right? The sunset to night transition here is next level. You can also take a romantic stroll through Bishop Arts or Knox Henderson, guys. That's always a really good play. Or you can check out the free candlelight nights at certain spots like Clyde Warren or the AT&T Discovery District. And then for my big friend groups, you can head to Levitt Pavilion in Arlington or the Legacy West in Plano. They both offer the free live music on select nights. You can bring lawn chairs, a cooler, and post up under the stars, right? And if your group likes that street type of energy, then Deep Ellum is always buzzing with street performers, musicians, and late night murals that are perfect for impromptu photo shoots. I mean, if you're solo though, you can go mural hopping in Deep Ellum. You can take a night stroll on the Katy Trail or just pull up a seat near the fountains downtown, guys. Grab your headphones, put on your favorite podcast, or just people watch, right? Dallas has plenty of moments that cost nothing but still feel like you did something, right? Free doesn't necessarily mean boring. You just need to know where to look, and now you do. Now, one seriously good thing about Dallas is you don't have to book a flight to feel like you escaped the everyday routine. Whether it's a mini reset, a surprise date night, or you just want to wake up somewhere with a view and no responsibilities, Dallas has some incredible staycation options. And when you pair that with the city's nightlife, it's a full-on experience without ever leaving town. Look, my wife booked us into the Omni Hotel at the Star, and we had a great time, right? We got the nice large suite, the kiddos' room was connected, we hit the pool, the spa, and we went down to the turf field and watched the NBA Finals, and then we hit one of our favorite pizza places in Cane Rosso. Look, if you ever go there, tell them Mark sent you and definitely get the Roni one. Another great spot is going to be Hotel Swexton. This is going to be one of the newest luxury stays in Uptown. I want you to think rooftop infinity pool, skyline views, Michelin level dining, and design that makes you feel like you're in a European boutique hotel. Look, it's elevated, but it's still walkable to the bars and all the lounges nearby. It's perfect for a luxury couple's night in the city. And then there's going to be the Virgin Hotel over in the Design District. This spot is young, it's colorful, it's vibrant, and it's full of energy, right? The pool scene is popping during the day, and the rooftop turns into a grown, sexy lounge at night. You've got the DJ nights, brunch the next morning, and suites with city views, a whole weekend vibe without without leaving the building. And then if you're looking for something that's more artsy and bold, you can go for the Canvas Hotel. It's a little under the radar with a rooftop pool that has insane skyline views and a creative vibe throughout the entire space, right? It's gonna be great for my creatives, content creators, or just folks who want something visually different. And then for that more classic old Hollywood type of experience, you can check out the Adolphus Hotel downtown. The architecture, the room design, and that rooftop pool, it all feels elegant and timeless, right? I mean, if you're into luxury with history, this one checks every single box. It's perfect for anniversaries, solo luxury escapes, or a staycation that feels like a real vacation. And if you want a mix of everything, the bar scene, skyline, food, and the fun, then the Statler is definitely gonna be the play, right? You get the rooftop lounge, the bowling alley, multiple dining options, and live music often happening downstairs. It's like a lifestyle playground all in one building. Look, at the end of the day, guys, you don't have to get away to get away. Sometimes the best nights start with check-in and end in room service with breakfast and a skyline view. I mean, Dallas staycation is definitely hidden. If you know where to go, it feels like a whole different world. And I get it, guys. If you're trying to find your Dallas vibe, whether it be dining, housing, or the events that bring the city together, we make the best videos, bar none, about living here in the Metroplex. And if you want to learn more about Dallas, we created a whole playlist that you can binge watch, and you can check those out right there.